Okay, here's the crank. I've got it sitting vertical just for filming, no other reason. I have a clamp down the bottom here, clamping it to the bench on the flywheel flange. So you can just see the edge of that down there. So on our main bearings here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main bearings. Now, because all the load of the engine is coming out and on the flywheel and transferring to the gearbox, at times the rear main is worn a little bit more than the others. Not always, just at times. So you'll also notice that the front and the rear mains are a lot wider than the other ones. That's to do with carting the flywheel and the load of the clutch and all that. Now you can see a little line just there, you can only just see it, for the where the bearing wore here, and that was just an oil track. So they all have that. So when you're measuring a crankshaft, stay away from that black line, because if you measure that black line, in theory, that will be the factory setting. There shouldn't be any wear on there. So I've been playing here and I've got my micrometer set now. The main bearing diameters we're looking for is 2.7485, so 2 inches, 748.5 thou, or 2.4793. So 2.749, that's 1 thou under 2.750. So look, we're just under the 2 3/4. So we'll start at the bottom, and I've got my micrometer set now. I've fiddled around, I got the feel, and I'm pretty happy with where that is there now. You can just see it's just tight, and sometimes when you hear them squeak, there was just a tiny little squeak, then you know you're pretty well on the money. So on that one there, now I don't know if you can see that or not. It doesn't look like you can really, but we're at 2.7490. So we're pretty well. You can feel that is a good fit. And now we'll go at 90. And that's the same. You got to get the happy medium. Everyone has a slightly different feel, but you don't use it like a bloody G-clamp. Now, I reckon I could just undo that, undo the lock, and just undo that just a little bit. That's it there. So that's just under 2.495. So it's probably on, look, it looks like it's right on the upper setting. No, you can't see that. So we'll work our way up. That's the same measurement. I'll take it down to 2.490 and see if I can get it on. No, we've got to take it just that little bit above 2.490. So look, those main bearings look like they have absolutely bugger all wear in them. Yeah, look, that's 2.4925 or something like that. Now on this one, I'm just going to measure on that black mark and see what we got. And that's probably what the crank was originally out of the factory. You can hear the shed crackling at the moment, but anyway, that's just working in a tin shed. Yeah, that's 2.7495. So we've only got about 0.2 of a thou wear. All right, we'll get back up onto here. It's exactly the same, about 493, 2.7493. It's not quite to the 495. Yep, they're all the same. So and you can't actually, on that top one there, you can't actually even feel any wear there at all, nothing. Okay, let's wind him back down. So look, we're well within spec. We're up on the high end, so we could have gone 2.748.5. So for yeah, not a chance you'd get that anywhere near it. So look, the crank's just about as good as new, really. It's very good. All right, let's go 2.24. So we'll wind the mic in. Okay, so there's 2.250 there. So there we would have 8.5. So we've got 2.485. Now the lower limit's 2.484. So we're within a tenth. I'll just check. We'll come on the side here now. So we're about 2.2487 and 0.484 was our maximum. So I'll just check, I'll lock this up and just check it through here. Yeah, look, I'm pretty comfortable with that. So look, we're in spec with that. Yep, we're same there. Yep, same. Yep, 4.9. Okay, we'll come in at 90 again, if we can. We're just checking your cameras on. I'm not bloody looking at you. I could be, anyway. Okay, that's the same. Pretty well on 2.2490. So we've got from 0.84, so we got from 85 to 92 thou, and that one's on 90. So, well, it's not 90, it's 9.2, so it's 8.5 thou, 8.4 thou to 9.2. Yeah, that's good. That's right on 2.2490. Yep. So look, I'm pretty well happy with that. I'll come over into the screen here a little bit. Look, we're on the upper end of the spec for this engine, so we're happy with that. Now, just for those that wonder, I have actually put the test piece in the micrometer and checked that it's accurate. So I'm pretty confident that this is accurate. From holding on to it, they can, for a while, they can heat up a little bit, but not too much out of the heat of your hand. So, but look, I'm very happy with that. So we're going to buy standard bearings for it, which I probably have here anyway. Really, we'll buy the standard bearings. We'll do the flexi gauge test now. On the 135 6-speed series I did, you can buy stuff called flexi gauge, and you bolt a bearing cap up, and because it's a soft wax, you bolt it up to spec, nip it down to spec, and then you can pull it out and you can measure how wide it is to your clearance. So I'm pretty good. I'm quite tickled with this crank, considering some of the rest of the tractor needed a little bit more maintenance than it got, but I'm pretty happy with that. So look, that's how you do it. Yeah, just measure both, measure everything at 90 degrees to each other. I'm pretty happy with this. I will fiddle around a little bit more off camera, but just in the interest of keeping the video fairly short and viewable, we'll work with that. But at the moment, the crank, the main journals, they're very close to being right on spec. I got 2.7485 to 2.7493, and look, we're above the 9, so we still have at least half a thou or more wear that could go into this crank yet before we had a worry. And with new bearings, we're going to have lovely oil pressure. On the big end journals here, well, look, you cannot feel any wear on the crank. So yeah, look, it's just going to come up nice. So look, I'm going to call it quits there. I've got a couple of photos of the specs so you can freeze frame it and work on your own crank. But all in all, this is a pretty good thing. yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The part number looks to be, hang on, I'll get my specs just for interest. There's no bearing on it, but 31315142. So on the specs there it shows the for particular cranks. But the only thing we can't test here really is if it's got a little bit of a whoop in it or something like that. Now most cranks that have got to be 50, 60 years old, they might just be out a little bit, and look, you can expect it. If you took your crank into an engineering shop, they would set it up and they'd say, well, even though this isn't worn, the crank might be bent quarter of a thou or something like that, so they'd want to regrind it. My experience tells me that there's normally no need. By the time you whack some new slippers and some new thrusts on here, you'll be right into spec. So there you go. That's it. That's how I measure my crank.